Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and it is time to play my Deck of TBR game for November. I'm so excited to see what I'll be reading this month, but before we do that, we need to check in with how I did in October, and I'll give you a little hint. Not great. So let's quickly go through this stack. I got the prompt Contemporary, and I chose The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. I have not read that. I got a random letter generator for the author's name, and I got the letter H, so I chose The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. Have not read that either. I got the prompt A Good First Sentence, and I liked the first sentence of The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. I'm about halfway through that one. So in my game, 100 pages in counts as a win. So I did complete that one. Next up, I needed a borrowed book, and so I chose Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I'm about 50 pages into that one. By the end of the month, I will likely be 100 pages in, so we can count that one as a win. And lastly, I got a free pick, which I turned over to my patrons, and they chose The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore, and I will have that completed by the end of the month because it is our Patreon book club read. And I'm about 20% of the way through it. It's a very easy listen. I could probably sit down and finish it in one sitting. So that's a loss overall, which means I will be taking my punishment for the month, which is that I need to pick books off of my physical shelves, which is actually okay. I am in the mood to read books off of my shelf because I want to get my physical TBR down. So I'm actually not mad about this punishment. It'll be okay for the month. We have a couple of things to do to the board to get us ready to play. The first is changing out our bomb book, which I just have in this bag here. These are books that intimidate me. Oh my gosh. Okay, The Swiss Family Robinson. I don't know if you can see it. You can trust me. If we draw the Joker, I'll be reading The Swiss Family Robinson. Okay, next we need to switch out the King, Queen, and Jack prompt. I leave the ace on there. That's a patron pick. If you are in the diamond or heart tier of my Patreon, you get to recommend a book to me. And whenever I draw an ace, I read your book. The other face card prompts lead me to books that will help me complete my goals for the year. So let's see what those will be. Just shuffling them up. Someone had said recently that I seem to pick the same ones over and over again. That's because there's only 6. So they seem to come up a lot. Self-destruct books, that's great for this month because my self-destruct books will self-destruct at the end of November. And I think I still have 7 left. An adaptation. And lastly, a book on my Kindle. Okay. The board looks full to me, so we will grab the cards and shuffle for our first draw. Like I said, I am hoping to get self-destruct books on this TBR. Also the buzzword, which is only. I have a workaround for that one. And otherwise, I don't know. It's pretty open. Maybe I'm feeling some fantasy this month, so we'll see. All right, draw number 1 is a 7 of hearts. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so this isn't my A to Z challenge, which I only have 2 letters left. I have R and Y, and the Y I have been wanting to get to for a long time is Young Jane Young by Gabrielle Zevin. So this will be the first book on the TBR. I have loved Gabrielle Zevin in the past. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is great. I'm also working on a little project where I read books by her to see if I like her. It says that Aviva Grossman, an ambitious congressional intern in Florida, makes the mistake of having an affair with her married boss. Oh, I'm not the biggest fan of affairs in books, but okay. When the affair comes to light, the popular congressman doesn't take the fall, but Aviva does, and her life is over before it hardly begins. Okay, we'll see. I really don't like cheating in stories, but I guess we'll see. And if it's not for me, I will DNF it, but otherwise, I'm happy to give it a try. We will replace that prompt with this one. Most recent Release. Oh, okay. That's an interesting one. We'll put the Seven of Hearts back in the deck and we'll shuffle. All right, one more for good measure. We got a Six of Clubs, which is nature on the cover. Okay, let's see if I could get any of my self-destruct books on here. There's definitely nature on this cover. It's maybe not the most prominent, but I'm going to choose Behind the Beautiful Forevers by Catherine Boo. This is a story about life, death, and hope in a Mumbai undercity. I've heard really good things. I've had it on my TBR for the longest time, and if I don't get to it by the end of November, I'll have to unhaul it. So it looks like fairly short, 250 pages or so, and I think I do have it on audio. So this was a good choice for nature on the cover. You can see there's greenery, there's trees. We're counting it. We'll replace that one with this continuous series. Always good to do. Put the 6 back in the deck and shuffle for draw number 3. We do 5 draws unless any of my rules come up, which are 3 of the same suits out of the 5 cards, or if I draw the same card twice. And maybe 2 numbers in a row? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. A 4 of Spades. 4 of Spades. Oh no. My dogs need to pick. Okay. Give me a sec. I'm giving them 3 options, and they are all from my self-destruct list. So the first is Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl, written by Harriet A. Jacobs. I'd read this in a class at Luther, and not the whole thing, and so I wanted to read the book in its entirety. We have Commonwealth by Ann Patchett. It's kind of a modern classic because it's written by Ann Patchett. I haven't always enjoyed Ann Patchett before, so we'll see. And the last one is All In by Simona Arnstedt. This is a suspenseful romance, I think. So let's see if we can get my dogs to pick them up for me. Here are the books. I'm putting a cracker on. We'll see. My dogs are not food motivated whatsoever. Barrett, come here. Can you pick a book? No, Barrett. Or Bonnie, can you pick a book? Oh my goodness. Not helpful. Bonnie, can you pick a book? Barrett? Well, she picked that one, I think. We're gonna call it. All right. And as you saw, the chaos chose Harriet Jacobs' Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. So I'll be reading this memoir in November, which is great. It's nonfiction November. I can get a nonfiction in here. And actually, I have another nonfiction. What do you know? I'm participating in a readathon. All right, let's replace that prompt with this one. Oh, starts with my initials. Interesting. I actually have 2 middle names, so it needs to be R, F, S, or L. We'll put the 4 of Spades back in and shuffle. Alrighty. Here we go. Draw number 4 is the 7 of Clubs. Just double checking to make sure we didn't already draw that card. Oh, a color in the title. Let's see what we can find. This may be pushing it a little bit, but stone is a color that you could find if you looked up color stone. It would show up, I think. So we're going to read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I wanted to read this Mina Lima edition forever, and the start of winter feels like the perfect time to read the first in the Harry Potter series. So looking forward to this. If you don't know about the Mina Lima editions, there are these beautiful interactive parts of the book that are just gorgeous. So I'm excited to dive back into this world with this edition of the book and hope that I didn't just ruin it No, I didn't. Anyway, this is going on the TBR. We'll replace that prompt with this one. A female author. Most of the books I read, I feel, are by female authors. We will put the 7 of clubs back in and shuffle for our last draw. Alright, here we go. Hope it's a good one. 5 of hearts. Okay, this is a book that could make me laugh. Interesting. Krista from Books and Jams just did a whole collaboration about books that make people laugh. I should maybe check out that video. But give me a moment and I'll see what I can find. This is a very eclectic mix of books, and I couldn't choose, so I'm turning it over to my patrons, and this will be our book club book for the month of November. A couple of these were on Krista's list. I will link her video down below in case you want to find some books that make you laugh. And then one is just a contemporary romance, which I feel can make you laugh. So the first is a nonfiction written by one of my favorite actresses, Mindy Kaling. This is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns? I feel like a book written by a comedian would make me laugh. The next one, I can't remember who recommended this, but it was on my shelves, and so decided to put it on here. This is The Appeal by Janice Hallett. I know that it's a murder mystery and written in like mixed media. There are texts, there are emails. So yeah, interested to give it a try possibly. And then the last is the contemporary romance. We have When in Rome by Sarah Adams. And I think it's a couple falling in love at a bakery. And I'm sure that there are some comical moments in it that could make me laugh. So we'll see which ones my patrons pick and see if it can give us a laugh. Alrighty, let's do a quick recap of the stack. We got A to Z Challenge, and I chose Young Jane Young by Gabrielle Zevin. Then we needed a book with nature on the cover. I chose Behind the Beautiful Forevers by Catherine Boo. Next up, my dogs picked Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl by Harriet Jacobs. I needed a book with a color in the title, and we got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And lastly, my patrons will be picking between these 3 choices that could make us laugh. We have Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me by Mindy Kaling, When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and The Appeal by Janice Hallett. I will put whichever book is leading right here, but I'm going to give them a little more time than just the amount of time it'll take me to upload this video, if that makes sense. Anyway, let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in another one very soon. Bye!